Good evening and welcome back to the channel. I'm out this evening with the one and only Pops.
Good evening, hope you're all well.
So we've come to an area that I've been scoping out now for just over a week, and I've been several times and observed the target species for this evening, and that is the barn owl. Now I've got 2 nest sites of barn owl, and within the last week I think the eggs have hatched because both adults are out of the barns actively hunting, and the minute they catch a vole, rapidly returning that vole to the barn to obviously feed their chicks. So I've brought Pops with me this evening and we're hoping that we might catch a glimpse or 2 of the barn owl and maybe even get a few photographs to boot. So come along for the journey and see what we see. Good evening. This is going to be day 2 of trying to photograph the barn owls. Now, we did photograph the barn owls last night. I'm back with Pops. Say hello, Pops.
Hello, Pops.
We did see the barn owl last night. It just wasn't conducive to making a video. You've got to be relatively quiet when you're photographing these birds. There was a group of other photographers around, and it just wasn't. Sometimes it's just not appropriate to vlog, to pull your video, the camera out and to start talking to camera. And last night was one of those nights, and I'm certain the guys that were here would have had no problem whatsoever with us doing that. But just sometimes it's just not right, is it?
It didn't feel right last night.
No. So we've come back out again. Now we've come out tonight because England are playing, and we thought we'd get the place to ourselves, but there is a few other photographers that have got the same idea. They thought they'd get the place to themselves as well. What have you seen, Pops? He spotted something. So we're just going to sit nice and quiet.
There's a log.
And see if we can see the barn owl again. I'll pop some photographs on that we got last night. Enjoy. So we've been here for about an hour now, and I have a feeling it's going to be a blank session. The farmers, and they're working, and you have to remember that they're working, and we're in their backyard. They are making hay while
the sun shines.
Put my teeth in. They're making hay while the sun shines, and fair play to them, but the amount of noise that's being caused while they're making hay while the sun shines means that I don't think we're going to see anything of these barn owls.
To be honest with you, it's just turned 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so...
And they didn't come out till well after this yesterday.
Yeah, it was about 1:30, wasn't it, by the time we came out?
Yeah, about 8:30. So
we'll give it another half hour and we'll see.
You never know. Maybe
they'll finish by then.
Well, it's quiet now.
Yeah. You can't be wrapping many more bales.
I hope not. But stoat might come out as well,
yeah,
for the pieces of chicken I put out for it.
Yeah, so last night we had a stoat running up and down the wall. We didn't manage to get any photographs of it, so Pops has put some raw chicken on the wall in a hope that it just might hold its attention for a brief moment and give us a chance of a photograph. So fingers crossed we might get something. You never know.
Well, with this heat, it'll warm that chicken up enough, I might have it for my supper.
So the farmer has left, and we are only at 8:15. So we stand a very good chance now of these barn owls coming out. There is a second nest site that's probably about half a mile away.
I would have thought so, yeah.
And both adults are out of that now and quartering the field. So we've got 2 barn owls just to our right. They usually come out before these ones do. So there's a good chance that they'll be out soon. Fingers crossed. Just as we were about to give up and walk up the lane and call it a night, it appeared over our left shoulder from nowhere. There was a girl walking down, walking a dog, and she was on the phone, she was talking dead loudly, and I turned to Pops and I said, I think that's it. It's just going across the top there, Dad. I said, I think that's it, I think we've done it for tonight. She's just given it the kiss of death, and at that moment, it's appeared. It came right across the field in front of us. We've got a couple of shots of it, and now it's headed in that direction, off hunting. So fingers crossed it'll catch something and we'll get at least one flyby with a vole. Let's just wait and see. Worth waiting a little bit longer now. I'm going to chance my arm, and there's a very good chance I'm going to have to throw the camera down and run to my camera. The barn owl is out now. We've already had 2 flybys, one that caught us a bit off guard, and we didn't get the best of shots. And then the second one, it came in just perfectly low across the grass in front of us, hopped over the path and then pretty much came straight over the top of us, which produced some fantastic opportunities. I've had a quick scoop on the back of the camera and it looks all right. What about you, Pops?
Not too bad at all.
Yeah, so it's just flown back out again now. So we're waiting for it to come back in, and I'm going to try and capture this one on video.
Good luck.
Good luck indeed. It's going to be hard work because they don't half move quicker than you think they do.
Oh, aye.
So yeah, fingers crossed. Last one of the night.
Yep.
Good evening and welcome back to the channel, to the video. This must be about take 999 of us photographing the barn owl. We keep coming back to the same location and we've had mixed successes so far, but the one thing that's been repeatedly against us has been the light. For the last couple of weeks we've had overcast, grey drizzly nights, anything but optimal conditions. But tonight, as you can probably see from me squinting, it is set to be a stunning night of light. We're hoping that we get a little bit of golden light, although there is some clouds over there that might scupper it. And then obviously if that combines with the barn owl coming out to hunt, that will be just exquisite. This barn owl, or these two barn owls that we've been photographing over the last couple of weeks, male and female, and they've got chicks in a barn, probably about 50 metres to our left. And those chicks must be getting really quite ready to fledge anytime soon. And when the barn owls come out, my word, are they busy, backwards and forwards, with the biggest voles you've ever seen in your life. I don't think they're voles, I think they're more like moles. They're bloody enormous, aren't they, Pops?
I'd have said rats. They're huge, bigger than your fist.
Yeah,
they come in.
They really are, aren't they? So we're hopefully going to get a couple of shots of the barn owl couple, the male and the female, out in the golden light. So Pops, you've been spending again, haven't you?
Oh, don't tell everybody.
Well, I've got to.
Well,
Tell them what you've been spending on now.
do I have to?
You have to, yeah. Well, if you don't, I'll tell them. So one way or the other, it's going to come from one of us.
All right, I splashed out on a 400 2.8 with a built-in 1.4 TC. But I had a caveat to that. I've sold 3 of my Z lenses.
Have you? You didn't tell me you'd sold 3 of your
Well,
Z lenses.
yeah, I took them down to Wex this morning. I had a quote over the weekend and it's quite favourable. So you take them down to Wex in Manchester and they'll examine them and confirm the price and then they'll put the money in my bank.
So what have you sold?
My Z800.
Oh, so the 800's gone.
The 800's gone. The 400 4.5's gone.
Right.
And the 100 to 400 is gone.
So
it leaves me with my 28 to 200,
yeah,
my 180 to 600,
yeah,
and the 400.
and your 70 to 200.
That's what I said right
Oh,
at the
did you say
beginning.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I've also got a 24 to 120.
Right. Yeah. So you've got a hell of a range there, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, what convinced me to get rid of the 800 was I've been having a go with this 400 with a 2x converter on, and boy, it's super sharp.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can't see any difference between that and what the 800 was producing.
No.
So I'm absolutely convinced it's such a versatile lens.
Yeah, I remember watching, before I got mine, I remember watching a video of Hudson Henry, and he got one, and yeah, he said the first thing he did was get rid of his 800, because he didn't want to be carrying an extra lens when he's going off to places like Costa Rica, so...
I have to admit that when I handed over the 3 lenses this morning, I walked out with a bit of a tear in my eye.
Yeah,
because
sure.
I've had so much fun with those 3 lenses.
Yeah.
Really so much fun with them.
Yeah.
And I really rate them.
But there's no point in collecting dust in the house, is there?
I'm a bit of a bugger for that, aren't I?
You are a bit, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, I've got... I go back to my F100 film camera. I just can't get rid of equipment, and it takes a lot of effort to do it. But I decided that I basically won't use them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, what's the point when you've got such a super lens as this 400 2.8?
And it is an absolutely sublime lens, isn't it?
It is beautiful.
So no more excuses now, and you making excuses for Pops that, you know, it's down to the fact that I've got a better lens than he has, and that's why my photographs are better. We're on a level playing field now. You heard it here first, a level playing field. And no more will I be putting whose name is attached to each of the photographs. It's going to be anonymous because there's a whole lot of favouritism going on this channel.
I'll still put my name on the photograph.
I'll Photoshop it out.
I'll hide it amongst the feathers and you won't know where it is.
Yeah, but neither will they.
All right. I'll tell them.
So we are on a level playing field. We've both got cameras on tripods, both Z9, both 400 2.8 lenses. So it's down to our own individuality now and our you know, the way that we interpret the scene and get the photographs. I have to say I'll probably be using a hellishly fast shutter speed because I always think the barn owl move far quicker than people realise.
You're not kidding. They really do scoot along at quite a speed.
Yeah. I mean, I think when they're hunting, they're quite slow and casual. But once they've got that vole and they want to get back to the barn as quickly as possible, my God, do they... Oh, I thought it was out then. It's like head down and they're flying. And actually, on Friday night, we found out why they make such a fast pace to get back to the barn. And that was because a kestrel came and mugged it for its vole that it caught. And it was a hell of a racket. Far too dark. It was the last light of the day, far too dark for photographs and at quite a range. But we could see it firsthand of what was happening. And it's the reason why, as soon as these owls get a vole, they hug the ground, they go really, really low and as fast as anything to get back to the barn, to get that precious cargo back to their chicks to ensure that they're successful in fledging. So fingers crossed, you never know, we might even see an interaction with a kestrel tonight, which would be incredible, wouldn't it?
Without a doubt. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be the money shot, wouldn't it?
Fingers crossed and legs crossed, everything crossed.
Well, the kestrel was just over our shoulder a minute ago, so...
You might be hanging around waiting for that barn owl like us.
You never know, you never know. All right, what's coming across here, Dad? Bloody barn owl's coming our way.
Oh, look at that. Good stuff.
Yeah, I sold it 25,000, Dad. So, what I was hoping that would capture behind us here was the killer sunset that we've had this evening. We have waited and waited and waited for this barn owl, and boy has it made us wait. Right at the very end of the session, a couple of lads that were already here decided they'd had enough and they were going. At that moment, the barn owl came out to hunt just as the most incredible golden light bathed this area. What was it like, Pops?
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, stunning.
First class.
Yeah.
That was an absolute. I mean, it's right now hovering at the side of where we were just stood. Blooming typical. Anyway, it's been a fantastic night, one of many that we've done to put together this video, and we've come up with a whole plethora of images, from your standard kind of portrait shots all the way through to your in-flight shots with the vole in the talons, and then tonight we've got something a little bit different, haven't we, Pops?
We have, yeah. I've got it flying into the sunset.
Yeah.
Silhouetted against the sunset. Totally different.
Yeah, and I managed to get what I'm hoping is a very low-key image where I can just see the rim light on its feathers in what will be an otherwise pretty much black photograph. So something a little bit different. So if you've enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, guys. Come on, like and subscribe. We've got a second barn owl now with 2 out. One on the wall there, and we've got one just in front of us there. 2 barn owls out, and there is 2 just down to the right of us. What can I say? Don't like buses, wait all night and then 2 come at once. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like. Consider giving a subscribe if you've not already. We've got a Buy Me a Coffee webpage. Link will be at the bottom. You know what to do with that, and thank you very much to all those people who buy us a coffee. And until next time, ta-ra.